had a liturgy early, this is because today is supposedly a feast. And between you and me, this was the original date that the church used to celebrate. There's a story behind that. Before we go into the gospel, I'm going to say it very quickly. الكنيسة كانت بتعيد كلها يوم واحد غرب وشرق، بس هو حصل حاجة في التاريخ قفلت القصة دي والموضوع ابتدى يوسع. يمكن في ناس تعرف القصة بتاعتها دي. كان زمان الناس كلها كل الكنيسة all the church celebrates Christmas on the 25th of December. Everybody. That's the original date. كله كان بيعيد يوم 25 ديسمبر. طب ايه اللي حصل؟ At one point during the Roman time, actually during the Greek, they counted the days of the year, and they said by finding the number of days, we know the year is 365 and 1/4. What's a 1/4 day? So every 4 years you get a leap year. كل 4 سنين عندنا سنة كبيسة، لأن لما عدوا الأيام بتاعت السنة زمان في أيام اليونان الإمبراطورية اليونانية والرومانية لقوهم 365 وربع، فما فيش حاجة اسمها ربع يوم. فنعمل إيه؟ كل 4 سنين ننمي الأربعة دي ونعمل إيه؟ سنة كبيسة. In the time of Pope, his name was Pope Gregory. This was maybe in the 7th century, سنة 700 ميلادية. كان في بابا في روما اسمه بابا غرغوريوس. الفلكيين اكتشفوا the astronomers made a more precise calculation of the year. They said, yes, it is 365 days and 1/4, which is how many hours? 6 hours, minus 11 minutes. So it is not really 1/4. It's in 1/4 minus 11 minutes. So what we're going to do? In the time of Pope Gregory, the Pope of Rome, he said, this means we owe history, we owe time 10 days. Since the time that's how he calculated it. Maybe it's much later. 10 days, whatever the days were at his time, like maybe 1300, 1400, 10 days. So how are we going to do this? So he said, 2 things we will do. First, you're going to wake up tomorrow. He did this in October, I think, or November or December. You wake up tomorrow and you will be 10 days back. So today is what? 25th? Tomorrow should be the 15th. That's what Pope Gregory did. The first calendar was called the Julian calendar. It was done ayam the days of Julian Caesar, Julian calendar. This one was Gregorian calendar. But then after that, he said the second thing we do to make for the 11 minutes, every 400 years we have to minus 3 days. We have to take out 3 days. How you do this? The mathematician said easy. Instead of counting a leap year every 4 years, we come to the century year. Century year, like what? 2000, 2100, 2200, 2300. If it can be divided by 400 without any remaining, it's a leap year. If it cannot be divided without remaining, it has to have a remaining, it's not a leap year. So that you will take 3 more days every 400 years. How is that? So 2000 will be a leap year. 2100, you cannot divide it by 400 without a remaining. So now 2100, يديكوا العمر ربنا, 2100 will not be a leap year. 2200 will not be a leap year. 2300 will not be a leap year. 2400, a leap year. By doing this, every 400 years, we shift even 3 more days. So by 2400, تعيش ويديكوا العمر ربنا, the Christmas will be on the 11th. Actually, the 10th of January. Why? Because we are still celebrating Christmas according to the old calendar. We call ourselves and everybody who follow the same thing, the Greeks, they have the same issue. They are old calendars. They follow the Julian calendar. Now you understand why 25 and why 7. Because if you count all the days from the time of Christ's birth until today, which is 2,000 years, there is a difference of تقريبا 13 days. 13 days. It's 5 sets of 4, but we have 3 each 500 years or 400 years, so that would be 12 plus 1, 13 days. That's the whole story. فاحنا لما بيسمونا التقويم القديم لان احنا ما زلنا ماشيين بالتقويم اليولياني اللي ما بيحسبش ال 11 دقيقه دول، لكن لما بيتخصموا ال 11 دقيقه بنفضل احنا نتقدم لقدام، ويفضل التقويم اللي احنا ماشيين بيه في العالم العادي زي ما هو، فاحنا بنتقدم يوم وعمالين ننزق يوم. كل 400 سنه هنتزق 3 ايام، يعني يديكوا العمر ربنا سنه 2300 2400 هيبتدي عيد الميلاد يقع في ايه؟ 10 يناير. 10 يناير معروفه يعني محسوبه هي، يعني شويه شويه كده كمان 1000 سنه كده هيتعامل مع القيامه، هيبقى في نفس اليوم. وده اتس نوت باد اكشولي، لان الكنيسه بتقول كده، التقليد الكنسي يقول ان ربنا يسوع المسيح اتولد ومات في نفس اليوم. اتولد ومات في نفس اليوم، فالميلاد اكشولي الحقيقي الواقعي حصل في مارس، مش حسب كلام القديس لوقا، لان القديس لوقا قال ان ميلاد ربنا يسوع المسيح حصل والرعاة موجودين على الجبال. طب الرعاة يروحوا الجبال ليه؟ قال لك بيروحوا الجبال بس في وقت ولادة الحملان، لما الخرفان تولد. طب الخرفان بتولد امتى؟ في الربيع، ما بيولدوش في الشتاء. طب ليه الكنيسة عملت العيد في الشتاء؟ قال لأن كان عيد كبير جدا على مستوى العالم كله للشمس، عيد للشمس، والكنيسة حبت تعمده. بعدين حاجة تانية هقولها لكم، عيد الميلاد ما كانش الكنيسة تحتفل بيه لأول 300 سنة، كان العيد اللي بيحتفل بيه في أول 300 سنة الغطاس والقيامة. The first 300 years the church celebrated only theophany and resurrection. الميلاد ما كانش يحتفل بيه، احتفل فيه بعدين. وقالت الكنيسة بناخد ميعاد يتفق عليه الكل. قالوا لسه الناس كانوا الناس طبعا احنا الناس البسطة بيحتفلوا بالأعياد بتاعتهم، يعني شم النسيم ده عيد فرعوني، فما يحتفلوا بيه كملوا يحتفلوا بيه، فغيروه خلوه عيد الميلاد. النهارده ربنا بيتكلم على today Jesus is talking about his kingdom and the people that he wanted to keep on his right and on his left. So this is the story from St. Mark, and I'm going to go quickly. So it's just a small, a simple lesson. He said when they started to see that he was becoming closer to Jerusalem and everybody is becoming famous, everybody knows Jesus, everybody wanted to see him, they knew that he will be a king. They knew that. They saw that. He was born, and everybody knew that he is a newborn king. When he was dying, on his cross was written, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. So from his birth to his death, he's known to be the king. In his annunciation, the angel came to St. Mary and said what? قال الملاك للعذراء سيجلس على كرسي داوود أبيه ولا يكون لإيه؟ طب هو مولود عشان يبقى ملك. هو جه، ولما جه when he came, Herod the king knew there is a new king who is going to born in his dominion, and he was very angry. And when the people presented him to Pilate, they told Pilate, he calls himself a king, but we don't have any king but Caesar. So they told him, if you want to defend him, you are a traitor. You don't love Caesar. But we are more loyal to Caesar than you, and we'll tell Caesar that you are not defending his kingdom. That's how they presented him. So when Pilate got so cornered, knowing that he's innocent, put him on the cross, and on top of the cross, he put a little sign, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. Okay. Today in this story, the two disciples, John and James, they and their mother, they got their mother. Their mother was his aunt, Jesus' aunt. So they may be a little bit shy to ask Jesus for this. So they told their mother, why don't you ask the teachers to give us a place on his right and left to become his best people in the kingdom. So they said it through their mother, grant us that we may sit one on your right hand and one on the other on your left. قالوا له كده، قالوا له يا رب خلينا نقعد على يمينك وعلى شمالك عشان يبقى هو الملك وهم الايه، رئيس الوزراء ورئيس الاركان مثلا، حاجه كده. ربنا رد عليهم وقال لهم Jesus answered and said what؟ تقدروا تشربوا الكاس. What does it mean to drink the cup? What does it mean to drink the cup? When Jesus told him, can you drink the cup? Think about it. To suffer. Because he said it in Gethsemane. If it is possible, let this cup pass from me. بيقول لأبوه إيه في جثماني؟ إن أمكن فلتعبر عني هذه كأس. هم بيقول لتلاميذه تقدروا تشربوا الكاس؟ فالكاس اللي في باله دي كلام من الأنبياء زمان من أيام أشعياء، اتكلم عن الكاس معناها المرار بتاع الخطية، المرار بتاع نتيجة الخطية اللي البني آدم زي ما آدم اضطر يطرد من الجنة ويبعد من الحياة الأبدية، هو ده الكاس اللي شربه آدم وشربناه معاه. في كمان كاس تاني للناس اللي ايه، اللي بيخطئوا بره القصة بتاعت آدم، مش بس هيموت كمان هيشوف مرار. ودايما أنا بنبه وننبه، والكتاب المقدس بينبه، الخطية اللي يفضل فيها ومش عايز يسيبها هيبقى لها نتيجة. ايه نتيجة الخطية؟ حاجات صعبة جدا. فوق الموت اللي هيموته الإنسان في حاجات تانية بتحصل في العالم في الزمن بتاعنا يسموها الدينونة الايه؟ الوقتية. دينونة وقتية مش الأبدية. الوقتية دي معناها ان الواحد لما يعمل حاجة غلط ويصر عليها وما يتوبش ما يرجعش بسرعة، ايه اللي بيحصل؟ بياخد على دماغه. طب ليه طيب؟ فهنا ربنا هيجي ياخد الكلام ده كله على دماغه وبيقول لتلاميذه لو انتوا عايزين تقعدوا معايا يبقى لازم تعملوا ايه؟ انتوا كمان تشربوا نفس الكاس. طيب ليه بقية التلاميذ؟ هنا بقى الكلام الجامد بقى. The rest of the disciples when they started listening to this, I would be very unhappy to talk. I'd say no, I don't want this. They are going to suffer baptism of death and drinking the cup of bitterness. I don't want this. But instead, what did they say? They complained. The disciples started to complain. What is this? It's unfair. It is unfair. Look at this. Here you discover something very interesting. First, Jesus came as a king who got jealous and got very violent. Herod. Jesus became very famous and entered Jerusalem as a king, and they shouted, Hosanna, son of David, and Hosanna, the king of Israel. Who got jealous? The leaders, the Pharisees. Now Jesus is talking about his suffering and inviting two of his disciples to share the suffering. Who got jealous? The rest of the disciples. Every time this kingdom is brought, every time the story of Jesus being a king is brought, there is jealousy, there is envy, there is all kinds of things. It's very interesting, and for us it's very important too. ليه هيرودس يتغاظ؟ ليه التلاميذ تتغاظ؟ ليه الفريسيين ورؤساء الكهنة والكتبة يتغاظوا؟ لأنهم بيفكروا إن العطية بتاعت ربنا حتة كيكة، لو حد خد منها هيحصل لها إيه؟ هتقل، يبقى نصيبهم إيه؟ هيقل. إذا هم هيبقوا كويسين وهيتقدموا أنا لازم هخسر. طب إيه اللي جاب ده؟ طب هو في المملكة بتاعت ربنا عنده حدود للعطية بتاعته؟ ما عندوش حدود. فالتفكير ده هو اللي بيؤدي للغيرة والحسد. ان ربنا جاي، وبعدين ربنا في القصة بتاعته من اجمل الحاجات مش جاي عشان الملك بتاعنا ده. لما جه بيلاطس سأله قال له انت ملك؟ قال له نعم انت قلت، لكن مملكتي ايه؟ ليست من هذا العالم. When Pilate asked him, are you a king? What did he say? Yes, you said it. You're right. I'm a king, but my kingdom is not from this world. Come and look at all of us. Look at all of us. I see it in the little ones as the old ones. You get somebody, doing something nice, and they're doing a service, even the church. And many people get a little bit jealous and envious, and they don't want it. They want to trash it. They want to bring it down. خلي واحد كده يعمل خدمة ولا حاجة مميزة في الكنيسة ويبقى قريب من أبونا مثلا ولا حاجة، تلاقي واحد عايز يجيبه من قفاه ويقول له تعالى أنت رايح فين؟ أنت بتعمل كده ليه؟ تعالى للعيال الصغيرين, to the little ones, in the school. I see that always. You get someone a little bit more clever. You get people, you get another kid or two kids or girls or boys talking about them from their back, trying to trash their things. They get so envious and jealous, and they want to bring them down, they want to break them, as if they're taking something from them. Why? Why? They're not going to take anything from you. Do you think God is poor? We think God is poor. He has enough just for her or for him. Whatever he's going to give her, he's taking it from me. This is actually a very interesting thing. Very interesting. I'll tell you why it's interesting. And it's very important for this country now. دي النظرية بتاعت ماركس. صدق أو لا تصدق. النظرية الشيوعية. هي دي. الشيوعية نظرية ماركس يسميها conflict theory. إن كل حد في المجتمع في حالة صراع مع الباقي عشان خاطر ياخد مكانه في المجتمع. فبنحل الصراع ده ازاي؟ نعمله ازاي؟ نحله ازاي؟ ايه الحل بتاع ماركس؟ اقطع كل الرقاب اللي تطلع فوق. ما تخليهمش يتخانقوا مع بعض انك انت تعملهم ايه؟ كلهم واحد. هل هي دي القصة بتاعت ربنا؟ نو. مفيش في الحكاية دي. بس كمان مش عند ربنا في تنافس. ما بيحبش التنافس ربنا. يقولوا كده على أنبا أنطونيوس كان يهرب من التنافس. ما كانش يحط نفسه في منافسة مع حد. Saint Anthony never competed with anybody. He never put himself in comparison. That comparison is awful. Every one of those disciples will have a place in his kingdom. Everyone will sit on a seat. There is an equality, but let everybody be. Let everybody be. We complement each other. الحاجة اللي عندي تكمل اللي عندك واللي عندك يكمل اللي عندي. Somebody might have money. Good. But someone who doesn't have money might have energy to serve. I might not have that energy. Someone else may have love. Someone might have insight and wisdom. Someone might have power. Someone speaks well. Someone listens well. Someone is light-hearted. Can you come to him and he will make you happy when you talk with them? Someone will put you in the right place by directing you. Which one of us is better than the others? No. But we are different. The problem with Marx and Shu'iyya, and he wants everybody cookie cutters. Everybody has to be the same. So I call this, and I have made a remark about this, equality by replication and equality by complementation. Which one is better? Equality by complementation or equality by replication? Do you want to be equal by being a replica of someone else? Exactly. But that's what the Marxist wants to do. That's what the kids in our school wants to do. That's what you want to do when you are jealous and envious. But instead of me seeing what God is giving me, I see what God is giving to somebody else. And I compare myself. And immediately I feel down, and I feel like what he has is the best. That's what happened in the garden. The serpent came to the Adam and Eve and told them what? You will be like God. Well, it's not good to be human. Do you think God created bad things? Do you think God created bad things? If that is the case, if God created bad things, why would he become a man? Why would God become a man? And have everything that we have, if it is evil or bad. So Jesus coming down from heaven to become a human being, like us, but not any human being, the poorest. No money, no power, no effect on anything. Born as someone who doesn't exist. They don't even recognize him, and they send him to a manger to be born in it. Do you think that is something good? Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. That's why the first two virtues in monastic life, when they learn virtues, the first two doors to enter into monastic life, البابين اللي بيخش منهم الراهب واحد ورا التاني هم ايه؟ التواضع والايه؟ والتمييز. بس التواضع الاول. اول حاجه يعملوها مع الراهب ولا الراهبه اللي لازم ايه؟ ينزل. زي ربنا يسوع المسيح لما عمل ايه؟ نزل. ربنا ما طلعش، الشيطان عايز يطلع. الشيطان قال احط الكرسي بتاعي فوق كرسي ربنا واحكم كل الناس دي، كلهم هيخضعوا لي. وربنا قال ايه؟ هسيب عرشي وانزل من الحكم الايه؟ وابقى زي العبد. في حركتين ضد بعض. الحركه بتاعت الانسان اللي عايز يطلع فوق هتقاوم، ربنا هيوقفها، لان كده الكتاب المقدس يقول لك ايه؟ الله يقاوم مين؟ المستكبرين. اما المتواضعين ايه؟ God resists the proud, but the humble God will give grace. That's what he said. So he begins by coming down, and he's asking us to all come down and look at what God has given: angels to sing, shepherds to reveal the glory, a virgin who's a saintly to carry him and to nurse him, a saintly man, Joseph. And this is a lot. This is a lot. King Herod sits in the palace, is so afraid. He killed everybody because he's afraid they're going to take the kingdom from him. He killed his wife. He killed many of his sons. He killed many of his brothers and relatives. He was a bloodthirsty king. Why? He's afraid. Pilate, the same. Here is the disciples. And here is you and I, when we are afraid that somebody's going to take what is ours. Humility says, I am the last. This is what Jesus said today. He said, you know that those who are considered rulers over the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great ones exercise authority over them. Yet it shall not be so among you, but whoever desires to become great among you shall be your servant. And whoever of you desires to be first shall be a slave to all of you. That's for even the Son of Man, he gives himself as an example, did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life a ransom for many. The way of humility. لأن ربنا لما كلم التلاميذ قال لهم نفس الكلام. قال لهم انتوا عارفين إنه رؤساء الأمم إيه الكلمة اللي قالها؟ رؤساء الأمم يسودون عليهم، سلطوا عليهم، يحبوا يتأمروا. يحبوا يتأمروا. لو أنت شفت في نفسك أو في نفسك إنك بتحب تتأمر، مش بس إن أنت تاخد بالك من عيالك وتحبهم وتربيهم في مخافة ربنا، أنت عايز تتأمر عليهم وعايز تقمعهم، أو زوجتك أو جوزك أو أي حد تحتك في الشغل. افتكر دي إن ده النظام بتاع العالم، ده النظام بتاع العالم اللي هيحاربوه. والنظام بتاع ربنا إيه؟ عايز تبقى الكبير، اعمل إيه؟ اخدم، انزل، ما تطلعش، وما تقارنش نفسك بحد، لأن احنا مش محتاجين نقارن أنفسنا بحد. لإلهنا المتجسد المتواضع كل مجد وكرامة به الصالح حسين كل وين.